Meeting. Okay. So, lahat ng meetings natin ay recorded so that if halimbawa lang na hindi kayo maka-attend ng klase for whatever reason or napuputol-putol yung signal ninyo or pag halimbawa even face-to-face, i-record ko yung meeting natin. Okay, so halimbawa na tawag dito, may emergency. So pwede nyo pa rin balikan yung lessons through the videos. Yung notes na i-generate natin every day, every meeting, okay, i-upload ko rin yun. So tawag dito, lahat ng information na makukuha nyo for today ay documented at makukuha nyo rin after about an hour, within the hour after nung lesson natin. Okay? Yung classroom natin ay LR1. So, ang first time na mag-face-to-face tayo is next Tuesday. Oh, no, sorry, next Thursday. Okay, ang LR1, if you don't know yet, yun yung classroom pababa dun sa HKP, sa gym. Okay, tawag dito. But I'm sure you'll have some sort of orientation later by some organization or by someone from the department or from the college. Okay, so yun. But for today, online tayo. For Thursday, tawag dito. Ah, ang mangyayari ay ipapakita ko yung tawag dito, yung video recording nung sa morning class ko kasi meron akong morning class ng Physics 101 GH. Unfortunately, hindi ako tawag dito, hindi tayo makapagklase online sa Thursday 4 to 6 dahil may urgent lang na kailangan yes, asikasuhin. So, i-send ko na lang yung link nung video nung morning class ng Physics 101 para mapanood nyo sa Thursday. Okay? Yun. So, any questions at this point before we actually begin with the lessons? Okay, so kung wala na, I hope you're ready. Okay, and we'll begin with our lessons now. So, okay, so let's see. Um, So, meron tayong isang ginagawa, may isang bagay tayong na ginagawa every day and almost every time. Okay, tawag dito. Well, habang gising tayo in general. Okay, and that is to make measurements. Okay, so hindi niyo napapansin to, but we do um, measurements almost every time. Nag-estimate tayo. Okay, marami tayong ini-estimate ng mga bagay-bagay. Okay, like for example, okay, nasa Baguio na ba kayo? Okay, thumbs up lang kung yes or no. So kung nasa Baguio na kayo, then siguro familiar na kayo sa sa more or less sa Baguio, sa UP Baguio and its surroundings. So, and then siyempre kung saan kayo nakatira, no? Kung sa dorm ninyo or sa boarding house. Siyempre isa sa mga tanong ninyo is gaano ba kabilis pumunta sa UP? Okay, and that's a way, that's a question about measurement. So, siyempre, sasagutin nyo, or it takes about 15 minutes galing dun sa boarding house na tinitirahan ko. So, what you're actually asking there is kung gaano kabilis, which means you're asking about the speed. Okay, magkano pamasahe papuntang school. So you're asking about the cost. Okay? So cost is the type of parameter that you're also trying to measure. Gaano kalayo papuntang SM? Napansin niyo ng UPI katapat lang ng SM, di ba? So you're asking about distance. Okay? And gaano pa katagal itong klase na ito? So this is a 2-hour class. So you're asking about the time. 'di ba? Then mas mabilis bang dumaan sa Sunshine Park, okay? Or dun sa Upper Session Road sa likod ng SM kung pupunta ako ng Session Road. In that particular question, you're asking two things. You're asking about the speed, okay, and you're asking also about the direction. Okay, speed and direction is a quantity, okay, na tawag dito, we call a vector. Okay, so it involves both magnitude and yung direction, magnitude ng speed, magnitude ng velocity, okay, which is speed, and yung direction, kung saan kayo dadaan. Okay? So itong mga quantities na ito na nabanggit natin, speed, cost, distance, time, okay, velocity, these are called physical quantities. Okay? Okay, so we have, yung nabanggit natin, distance, okay, speed or velocity. Okay, nabanggit din natin yung cost pero hindi natin isasama yon. Then, nabanggit din natin yung time. Now, to be able to describe these quantities, gumagamit tayo ng units. Okay? So sa distance, ano yung mga typical na unit na ginagamit natin? Meter, centimeter, ba? Minsan gumagamit tayo ng feet. Minsan gumagamit tayo ng kilometer. Okay? Gaano kalayo from Manila to Baguio? It's about 250 kilometers. 'Di ba? Minsan sa ibang bansa, may iba silang unit of measure which is miles, 'di ba? And when we talk about speed or velocity, we use the units meters per second or feet per second or kilometers per hour, 'di ba? Or sometimes it's called kph, okay, or miles per hour or mph. And for time, okay, ang unit na ginagamit natin dito ay seconds, okay, or s. Okay, so itong mga units na ito describe, give us a way to describe, tawag dito, yung magnitudes nung mga physical quantities na yan. Okay, so, wait lang. May mga dalawang types ng units. So we have yung SI units at meron din tayo nung British units. So ang SI units ay itong mga units na ito. Okay. So we have meter, meters per second, and well, yung second is both British and tawag dito, SI. So SI units. Pag orange, SI units. So it's a French word for system. I hope I spelled it right. International. Definitely hindi ko yan nabanggit ng ng tamang pronunciation in French, pero yan yung spelling niya. And then for British units or British, ba? Sabi nila. Ang ginagamit nila dun ay feet per second. Idagdag na rin siguro natin dito yung mass. Okay, yung mass ang ginagamit ay kilogram or gram. Okay, and in SI units they use kilogram and in tawag dito uh, British use grams. Centimeters din pala ginagamit nila. Okay, so yun. Sometimes it's called the CGS units. Okay, for centimeter, gram, and second. Okay, so tayo dito sa Pilipinas, ang ginagamit natin ay um, tawag dito, SI units. But sometimes we do switch to British units. O bakit ba merong itong SI units at British units? Hindi natin alam kung bakit merong ganitong klaseng units. Okay, but of course, it has something to do with region, kung saan nag-originate yung physical quantities na ito. Okay? And kung saan sila ginagamit niya. Okay, so just to keep tawag dito, keep things interesting. Okay? Hindi ko pala na-resume yung recording. Okay, anyway. So, ordinary lang na conversation nag-uusap tayo. Tawag dito, gaano kalayo ang papuntang papuntang UP, from SM. Sabihin natin na 100. Okay, 100 100 feet, 100 meters, 'di ba? So if you don't add the units, medyo may tawag dito, confusion. If you go to another country, for example, okay, tapos, halimbawa, punta kayo let's say, Thailand. Sinabi niyo na, magkano ba tong bag na to? Ah, halimbawa, Vietnam. Yan. Sa Vietnam kasi malaki yung milyonaryo ka kagad sa Vietnam. So, punta ka ng Vietnam and tinanong mo kung magkano yung bag, sabihin nila na 1 million yan. 1 million? Anong 1 million? 1 million na dong or 1 million na pesos. Diba? So you really need to add itong mga units na to in order to avoid yung mga ganyang klaseng confusions. Okay? And that's something I will also require pagdating sa discussion sa klase, sa exams, sa quizzes, and then so on and so forth. Now, just to give you an idea about these prefixes, let's consider yung scale, okay, in terms of tawag dito, length. So familiar tayo sa human dimensions. Okay, pag 5 foot 6 inches ka, it's about 1.65 meters. So in the order of 10 to the in the order of 1 meter yung human dimensions. When you talk about this diameter of the Earth, it's about 10 to the 7 meters, okay? Or 10 kilometers, 10 megameter. Yeah, pero hindi naman natin sinasabi na megameter. So 10, we just say 10 to the 7 meters. And then distance to the sun is 10 to the 11 meters approximately. And then limit of observable universe is 10 to the 26 meters. Going to the opposite end, dun sa smaller na scale, we have the diameter of a red blood cell is 10 to the minus 5 meter or 10 micrometers. Radius ng atom is 10 to the minus 10 meters. So ito, this is 10 micrometers. Radius ng atom is 10 to the minus 10 meters or 10 nanometers. Okay, and then ito namang radius of an atomic nucleus is 10 to the minus 14 meters or 10, okay, 10 femtometer. Kasi yung femto is 10 to the minus 15. Oops, sorry. Okay. Okay? So yan, para lang magkaroon tayo ng appreciation about yung mga na yan, units na yan. And yung prefixes. Okay. Any questions so far? Any questions? Okay. Now, sa ngayon, hindi pa tayo nag-aaral ng mga equations. But to be able to check yung answers ninyo, we use, so one of the things that we use, one of the techniques that we use ay yung tinatawag na checking the dimensional consistency. Okay? We check if yung answer niyo is dimensionally consistent. So, dimensional consistency. Ano ibig sabihin nito? So, siguro familiar kayo dito sa equation na ito. Distance is equal to velocity times time. Okay, yung velocity or speed, ang unit niyan is meter per second and ang unit ng second is ng time is second. And if we consider, if we do the math, syempre mag-cancel itong second na ito. So yung overall unit ng product ng velocity at saka ng time is meter, which matches with the unit of distance. So again, one of the things that you can do is to check if yung units sa left-hand side ay nagmamatch dun sa unit sa right-hand side. And if they match, we say na dimensionally consistent yung units na yan. Okay? Okay, so Yan, isa sa mga requirements yan pagdating sa pag-solve ng mga problems and to check your answers. Okay, now another thing to be concerned about ay yung tinatawag na uncertainty at saka significant figures. So kanina dun sa video, no, sinabi na yung ruler, alam naman natin to na yung ruler may dalawang grades. So yung isang grade niya ay centimeter, yung isang grade niya sa opposite side ay inches. And it is true, kung isipin niyo, it is true. Hindi kayo makikita ng dalawang linya, okay, dun sa inch tsaka centimeters na nagla-line up. Okay? Um, Tawag dito, nagla-line up perfectly. Okay? Um, but yung mga rulers na yon, meron din silang limit. Okay? So let's say for example na ang tinitignan natin ay yung centimeter. Okay? So halimbawa ito yung edge ng ruler. Okay, at makikita nyo dito na merong mahabang linya and then may 1, 2, 3, 4 and then may mahabang linya ulit and then 1, 2, 3, 4 and then may mahabang linya ulit and then may makikita kayong 1 millimeter or 1 centimeter, sorry. 1 centimeter. So ang smallest measurement na pwede nyong magawa dito is this. And this corresponds to 1.1 centimeter or equivalent to 1 millimeter. So with the ruler, you cannot measure, okay, yung dimensions ng, for example, ng cell. Okay, kasi the cell is extremely small. So sobrang liit pa. Mas maliit pa kaysa tuldok na yan. Okay? Kung nakikita niyo yung tuldok yan. Okay? Mas maliit pa kaysa tuldok na yan yung cell. Okay? And a ruler is just not the right equipment to be able to measure this stuff. So, the way you write numbers also tells us kung anong klaseng instrument yung ginamit mo. So, if you use a ruler, the ruler, ang minimum dimension na makikita na pwede mo i-measure using a ruler is 1 millimeter. Okay? So, yung uncertainty when you use a ruler is about uh, two or three decimal places. Na ano ba itong sinasabi kong uncertainty? Pagdating niyo sa laboratory, okay, you're going to measure dimensions, okay, particularly lengths ng objects. And you're going to measure yung lens na yon tawag dito, paulit-ulit. Okay, maybe 5 times or 10 times. And what you're going to do is to take the average and you take yung tinatawag na standard deviation. So what you'll end up with are numbers which will look something like this. So 10.4 centimeters plus or minus 0.0 tawag dito. Uh, 10.41 centimeters plus or minus 0.02, okay, centimeters. Okay? So ito yung average ng measurements, ito yung standard deviation ng measurements. And this tells us something about yung uncertainty sa measurement. If I see two decimal places, okay, and I take a look at the unit, alam ko na ruler lang yung ginamit. But if I see this measurement, 413, for example, plus or minus 0. Tawag dito, uh, 0. Okay, okay, about 10 to the minus, oh, sorry. Halimbawa lang, 5.4 times 10 to the minus 5, tawag dito, meters. Okay. Um, hindi 5, kundi 3 meters, okay, or 4 meters. Then, okay, 0.00054. So, gawin ko itong 4. Okay, then kita natin na meron siya 1, 2, 3 decimal places or 4 decimal places. Okay, 3, 4. Okay, alam ko na in this case, ang ginamit na measuring instrument dito is a micrometer caliper because a micrometer caliper can measure up to 10 to the minus 6 na na dimension. Okay, so gagamit kayo ng dalawang instruments sa laboratory. But again, ang point lang dito is that from the uncertainty, the uncertainty is determined from kung anong klaseng measuring instrument yung ginagamit ninyo. Okay, and vice versa, yung measuring instrument will tell you kung gaano ka precise or uncertain yung magiging measurement ninyo. It doesn't make sense to use, for example, a ruler when you're talking about tawag dito, distances from UP to SM, for example. Diba? Hindi na yun nag-make sense. So again, you need to use the correct measuring instrument, and that will give you the correct uncertainty and then the correct number. So there's also a term called, so dito ang pinag-usapan natin uncertainty, no? But we also take a look at yung significant figures. Okay? So ano bang ibig sabihin ng significant figures? Alam natin na from siguro from high school, okay? Na dito merong four significant figures at dito merong three significant na figures, okay? But yung significant figures na yon also tells us about yung measuring instrument. So tulad nung sinabi ko, if you're measuring the distance, okay, from UP to SM, for example, okay, hindi nyo na sinasabi na, oh, ang distance from UP to SM is 100.345 meters. Okay? Etong 3.5 meters na yan, okay, yan, nakakatawa na yan. Okay, nakakatawa yan. Okay, it doesn't make sense. Okay? Like it doesn't make sense to use a ruler, okay, para i-measure yung distance na yun, yung ganung kalaking distance. If you ask me, gaano pa katagal yung gaano pa katagal bago mag-break? Okay, so sasabihin ko sa inyo, siguro meron pang mga 15 minutes, 43 seconds, and 345 milliseconds. Okay? Again, nakakatawa yung 345 milliseconds kasi it doesn't make sense. Anong tulong na ibinibigay sa atin ng 345 milliseconds na 'yon? Sufficient na yung 14 minutes. Okay? Na sabihin ko sa inyo na time until mag-break tayo. Okay? So ganun. Yung significant figures have something to do with that kind of concept. With the measuring instrument, kung ano yung minimeasure nyo na dimensions. Okay? And yun. And so on and so forth. So it's not just about a theoretical meaning. Di ba? It's not just about the definition of significant figures. Of course, alam natin yung definition na yan. Okay? But it's also about how you measure it and what you use to measure yung ano na yun, yung tawag dito yung physical quantities na yun. Okay? Okay, any questions? Okay. Now let's also talk about tawag dito unit conversions. Okay. So, let's see. Siguro para mas mabilis. Tawag dito, we'll just consider itong example na ito. Bigay lang agad tayo ng example. So let's say we have this, tawag dito, speed of 763.0 miles per hour. Okay? So we want to convert this to meters per second. Okay, so how do we do that? So convert to meters per second. Okay, paano natin gagawin yon? Siyempre, we need to know kung ano yung unit conversion. Okay, so for example, 1 mile is 1.609 kilometers. Okay, and then 1,000 meters is equal to 1 kilometer. Okay, in terms of time, we have 1 hour equals 60 minutes or and then 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. Okay? And to do the unit conversion, ang ginagawa natin, so let's first consider yung miles. So kung gusto natin i-convert yung miles to meters, so ginalagay natin yung tawag dito, conversion factor. Ang conversion factor dito is, una natin conversion factor na gagamitin is this. Okay, and ilalagay natin yung mile sa ilalim para mag-cancel siya with the mile dun sa ibabaw. So 1 mile is equal to 1.609 kilometers. So yan yung una natin conversion factor. Then we convert kilometers to meter and we use this conversion factor. This way, mag-cancel yung kilometer at ang matitira ay meters and nasa denominator siya. In the same way, we use conversion factor of pag-time. So, yung R ay nasa denominator. So, ilalagay natin yung conversion factor in such a way na yung R nasa numerator. So, 1 R is 60 minutes. Okay, and this cancels the R. And also 1 minute is to 60 seconds. Okay? And this cancels the minutes. Ito matitira sa atin ay yung meter per second na unit. Okay, so this is equivalent to 341.0 meters per second. Okay, note dito na na-preserve yung number of significant figures. Dito merong 4 na significant figures. Dito meron ding 4 na significant figures. Okay? Regardless kung ano man yung conversion, kung ano yung significant figures ng conversion factor. So wala tayong pakialam sa conversion factors. Okay? Next, this is one of the common mistakes din ng mga estudyante. Okay, so let's say we want to convert 1.84 cubic inches. Okay, so this is a unit for volume. Okay, we want to convert cubic inches to first to cubic centimeter and then to cubic meter. Okay, ang conversion factor dyan ay 1 inch is equal to 2.540 centimeter and then 100 centimeter ay equal sa 1 meter. Okay, so to use the conversion factor, we apply the conversion factor dito sa tawag dito sa given. Okay, so inch yung nasa ilalim ng conversion factor para mag-cancel siya with the inch dun sa sa given. So 1 inch is 2.540 centimeters. But note na ito ay cube. So kailangan natin i-cube din yung conversion factor. So now we can cancel yung cubic inches at saka yung cubic inches na ito. Okay, and this we get 30.2 cubic centimeters. Okay? Okay, again, may mga estudyante pa rin na nagkakamali just by doing this type of conversions na meron ng power. Okay, square unit or cubic unit. Okay, and then 30.2 cubic centimeters. Ang unit conversion natin dyan is 100 centimeter is to 1 meter. So again, i-cube natin yan. So what we'll get ay 3.02 times 10 to the minus 5 cubic meter. Okay, so this is expressed in scientific notation. Okay, alam naman natin kung anong scientific notation, ano? Scientific notation siya pag it's a number expressed in terms of 10 powers of 10. Okay, or we can also use prefixes, so 30.2 times 10 to the minus 6 cubic meters or 30, hindi, sorry, hindi pwede dito. Kasi cubic siya. Cube. Okay. So, ganyan lang muna siya. Okay. So yan yung unit conversions. Okay? Mag-ingat kayo parati pag nagko-convert kayo ng mga units. Okay, any questions so far? Any questions? Okay, sige. At this point, agahan natin ng kaunti yung break kasi yung next lesson will be a different lesson. We'll begin talking about vectors. So it's 10, sorry, it's 452. Balik tayo ng mga 5:05. Okay? So, pause muna natin yung recording. So physics is not so much about the final answer, but it's equally about how you arrive at the final answer. Okay? Which is, of course, yung tawag natin doon ay solution. Okay? Kasi nasa solution yung physics. Okay? Um, Tawag dito, di ba, pag chine-check naman namin yung mga papers, we take a look at your solution and see if you, first of all, if you apply the physics concepts correctly, okay, and second, if you do the mathematics correctly. Okay, and the third, yung answer, ang titignan naman sa answer, of course, if it's correct and if it makes sense. Okay? We'll learn more about that kung ano yung nagme-make sense or hindi later pag meron na tayong exercises na ginagawa sa mga future na exercises. Okay, but yun. So I mean, to answer your question, I mean if you use like 1 month 20 is to 28 days versus yung ibang mga estudyante na 1 month is to 30 days. Tapos magkaiba kayo ng sagot dahil magkaiba kayo ng number of days na ginamit. Pero pag tinignan ko naman yung solution ninyo, it's reasonable, di ba? And it's even though magkaiba kayo ng sagot, parehong points lang yung i-award ko doon. Okay? Yun nga, it's about arriving at, it's how you think and how you apply yung principles and how you arrive at the final answer. Not as much as yung final answer itself. Okay? Okay, so yung reasoning ang hinahanap natin dito, how you apply yung physics concepts and why you use that physics concept to ano, to arrive at your final answer. Okay, so I hope clear 'yun. And it's not just me as a teacher. And later on pag tawag dito, yung ibang mga teachers sa physics, you'll see na ganun din sila mag-check yun, and then mag-correct ng work ninyo. Okay? Okay, so just I hope na-answer ko yung tanong na yun. No? So just tawag dito, just a bit of uh, tawag dito, uh, map. Well, ito ngayon na pinapakita ko sa inyo yung map ng uh, portion ng Baguio. Okay, hindi ko alam kung familiar kayo sa map na ito. Okay. Nakikita nyo ba dyan yung familiar ba sa inyo yung ibang mga places? Of course. Andiyan dyan ng SM, kitang-kita. Yung tawag dito, Burnham Park, yung Athletic Bowl, and somewhere there ay nandiyan dyan yung UP. Okay? So, I'm going to sketch out yung road circling yung UP. Okay? So, nandiyan dyan yung UP sa napapaligiran ng road na yan. Okay, this small part here, okay, itong small part na to, okay, yan ay hindi na pag-aari ng UP. Okay, so nandiyan yung museum and ano pa nga ba yung isa nandiyan dyan. Okay, pero in any case, UP is somewhere there. And dito yung College of Science na building. Okay, yan yung parking lot. Okay, and dito si Oble. Okay. Now, if you look at the road, a bit of trivia lang. No? If you look at the road, looks like an inverted heart. Tama? Kung paano nyo i-interpret yan, nasa sa inyo na. Okay? Inverted heart, mga evil ba yung mga taga-UP or tawag dito, nagkataon lang na may heart yan or whatever. Okay? So anyway, just a bit of trivia. But I'm showing this map because I want to give an example. Like, for example, if you want to go from here, okay, so ito yung starting point mo, which is, sorry. Siyempre, hindi yan ang starting point natin. Dito tayo mag-start sa gate. Okay. Nakapasok na ba kayo sa UP or online pa rin yung classes ninyo? Okay, so nakapasok na kayo. So yan yung entrance, di ba? And dito yung upper session road. Yun yung location nung kung saan tinatayo yung Christmas tree pag ano, pag tawag dito, pag Christmas. Okay? Now, there are two ways oftentimes na ginagamit ng mga tao para maglakad papunta sa upper session road. So this is one way, the Governor Park Road, Harrison, and then Governor Park Road. And then there's another way through upper session. Okay? So there are two ways to go to to go from UP papunta dun sa upper session road. So tawag dito, you can think of itong directions na ito, you can think of these ways as directions, di ba? So there are in general, there are two directions, okay, that you can take going to UP, going to Upper Session Road from UP. Okay, so now we're not just considering kung gaano kalayo yung lalakarin, but we're also considering kung aling direction yung kukunin. And this is how we look at tawag dito. And this is how we treat vectors or quantities that can be described as vectors. Okay, so now we're talking about vector quantities. So vector quantities are physical quantities that describe both magnitude and direction. Okay. So some physical quantities don't really require a direction. Like for example, uh, distance, di ba? I mean, I'm sorry, a displacement. Okay, displacement is the vector quantity corresponding to distance. Okay, sometimes distance is sufficient. Okay, speed or velocity. Okay, hindi rin siya ganun ka-significant. But in a quantity such as force, okay, force, kailangan mo talaga i-describe both magnitude and direction. Gaano kalakas yung pagtulak at anong direction mo siya tinutulak. It doesn't make sense to just say 28 newtons, okay, or 100 newtons. You have to say 100 newtons forward, di ba? I mean, yung word nga na tulak or hila, it also implies direction, di ba? Kasi pag tinulak mo, you're pushing it forward. Forward is the direction. Pag hinila mo, you're pushing it towards you. Di ba? Towards you means it's a direction. Gaano kalakas mo siya tinutulak, gaano kalakas mo siya hinihila. So force is one of those physical quantities that automatically requires both magnitude and direction. So force is a vector quantity. Okay, so ano-ano ba itong mga vector quantities na ito? Okay, so nabanggit na natin na for displacement, for distance, yung vector quantity na ginagamit natin ay displacement. And yung unit ng displacement, since it's also a distance, ang unit, SI unit niyan is meters. For speed, ang vector quantity that describes speed with direction is velocity. Diba? Speed with direction. At ang unit ng velocity is the same, of course, as speed, which is meters per second. Okay. Later on, we'll talk about acceleration, which is the change of speed per unit time. Okay, ang unit nito is meters per second squared. Okay. And then, yung nabanggit nga natin ngayon lang is force. So, ang unit nito is kilogram meter per second squared or yung equivalent niya na Newton na unit. Okay? Okay. Okay, so how do we describe vectors? How do we describe vectors? Well, sabi natin we describe it using magnitude and direction. Pero how do we write vectors? pagdating sa pen and paper. Okay, so we symbolize vector quantity in terms of an arrow, diba? So let's say sinabi natin from point P1 to point P2. So point P1 to P2. Okay, yan yung kanyang displacement. Okay? So it's displaced by this amount. Yan yung magnitude ng displacement niya. Yung length ng arrow describes yung magnitude of displacement of the displacement. And then yung point, tawag dito, o yung arrowhead, describes yung direction, okay, nung vector. Okay? So we use arrows to signify vector quantities. And syempre, gusto natin siya i-quantify. And to quantify vectors, we use letters. Okay, as symbols. Okay, and and sa book, gumagamit siya ng boldface. So obvious sa book kung ano yung vectors. Pero tayo, pag nagsusulat, hindi naman tayo ayaw naman natin na paulit-ulit na sinusulat na ganyan para lang ma-boldface, di ba? So instead, what we do is we just write the letter and we put an arrow on top of the letter. So yan yung ating vector quantity. So this arrow is a vector named vector A. Okay? So ganyan natin siya describe when we write vectors. Okay, and ang importante lang sa vector is yung starting point at saka yung end point. Doesn't matter kung ano yung path na tinake ng vector na yan. Okay, whether dito or ganon, kung ano man yung path na tinake niya, oops. Okay, ang nagmamatter lang is yung P1 at saka yung P2. Okay, tawag dito yun, starting point at saka yung end point. Okay, so we can multiply a vector with scalar quantities. Okay. Let's say, for example, if I multiply the vector a by 2, essentially, ang ginagawa lang natin dyan is pinapahaba natin yung length ng vector na yun by twice the amount. So here, we have a vector. Ito yung isang vector. Yan yung vector a. If you multiply it by 2, then this is you're connecting the two vectors A, the two vector A's, okay, along the same line. So ito ngayon yung vector na ngayon na yan. Yan yung vector na 2A. Okay. So let's say na yan ay vector F. Okay, so yung vector na ito, okay, which is twice A, yan yung vector na F. Okay. We can also multiply it by -1. Okay, so let's say negative A. Anong implication yan pag nag-multiply tayo ng -1? Ang ibig sabihin yan is we're inverting yung direction ng A. So kanina naka-point siya upward pero ngayon magpo-point na siya downward. So nag-change siya ng direction. Change in direction by 180 degrees. Okay, so yan na yung ating vector A ngayon. Okay. If we want to just describe yung magnitude ng vector, so ang gagawin natin is we write yung vector and then we write absolute value sign. So ito yung magnitude of vector A. And direction, is described in terms of some angle or some reference. Okay, so to describe yung direction, gagamit tayo ng tawag dito, yung tinatawag na reference frame. Pero we'll get to that in a little while. So for now, okay, we can do mathematical operations sa mga vectors na ito. Okay, so we can do addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, okay, of these vectors. Later on sa upper physics, okay, we can use tawag dito, we can integrate over vectors, differentiate vectors. We can do calculus with these vectors. Okay. Um, so yun. Let's start with yung simplest, okay? A and B, addition of vectors. Okay, so again, let's say na ito yung ating vector A, and then ito naman yung vector B. Okay, if we want to add these vectors, okay, let's say we have a vector C, which is the sum of A and B. So we can do this two ways, either geometrically, okay, or using components, okay, vector components. So dun muna tayo sa geometric, okay, na method. So geometrically, ang gagawin natin is we redraw yung vector A, okay, and then dun sa head ng vector A, we add yung vector B. Okay, and then from the tail of vector A, yung unang vector, to the head of vector B, yung pangalawang vector, magagawa tayo ng bagong arrow or bagong vector. At yan ngayon yung sum ng A and B. So yan yung C is equal to A plus B. Okay, we can do it starting with vector B instead. So halimbawa, unahin ko yung B. Okay, and then isusunod ko yung vector A. Okay, so nilagay ko ngayon yung buntot ng vector A sa ulo ng vector B. So, ang resulting na vector ngayon, or yung tinatawag na sum ng vector or resultant vector, okay, is this one. So again, yung blue na yan is vector C, but this time yung vector C na yan, mauuna yung B, and susunod yung A. Okay, but if you compare these two vectors, ito at saka yung vector na yan, they're exactly the same. Okay, and that makes sense kasi vector addition is commutative. Okay? Okay, so one thing that you can also do is this. So yung iba, ang ginagawa nila is dinadrawing nila yung vector A na ganyan, then yung vector B na ganyan, and then ipoproject nila yung vector A in this way from the head of vector B, and then yung vector B, ipoproject nila, in this way from the head of vector A. Okay. Tapos naka-form ka ng parallelogram, di ba? Tapos kunin mo yung diagonal ng parallelogram na yan. Okay? Yung diagonal na yan is precisely yung sum ng vectors A and B. Okay? Makikita nyo na pare-pareho lang silang tatlo. 1, 2, 3. Okay? So, geometrically, you can do either of these, any of these methods. Okay? Now, what if we want to subtract vectors? So let's say we want do to find a vector D na kung saan ang vector D ay yung difference ng A and B. Okay? This is nothing but A plus negative B. So, ang gagawin natin dito, kunin muna natin yung negative ng B and then i-add natin dun sa vector na A. So, ang vector A, graphically, we have this. So ito yung vector A. And then ito yung vector na negative B. Yan yung negative B na vector. So yung resulting vector ngayon or resultant vector is from the tail of vector A to the head of vector B. So yan ngayon yung vector D, which is A minus B. Okay, we can do another. E is equal to B minus A. Okay, so this is nothing but B plus negative A. Geometrically, sorry. Geometrically, we draw this as, so B muna. So alam natin na ito yung B. And then susunod yung negative A. Alam natin na ito yung negative A. And then ito ngayon yung from the tail of B to the head of negative A. Yan ngayon yung ating vector E. Okay, and from looking at these two arrows, two vectors, makikita natin na yung A minus B is equal to negative B minus A. Okay? So, again, it makes sense mathematically kasi yan naman yung alam natin about yan yung familiar yan from just using yung numbers, diba? From our familiarity with mathematics using numbers. Okay? Okay. What if I have, okay, so dagdag muna ako ng isang page. Okay, so what if I have many vectors? Okay, let's say, for example, I have a vector, ito naman, bagong vector A, and then bagong vector B, and then bagong vector C. Okay, so ito ngayon yung A, B, and C. Okay, so paano natin, anong gagawin natin dyan? Well, of course, ano muna kailangan, di ba? So let's say we want to add all of these vectors. Okay? So, ang gagawin natin is, pagdudugtungin natin sila, ito muna yung vector A muna, and then vector B. Okay, so vector A may dalawang units pababa. Okay, yung vector B ay 1, 2, 3, 4 units, okay, to the right. And yung vector C ay 1, 2 units to the right and 3 units upward. Okay, so 2 units to the right and 3 units upward. Okay, so ang result nito ngayon, ang resultant vector will look like this. At ito ngayon yung ating vector na D. Okay? And since associative nga siya, you can do any combination. Pwede mo unahin yung B, or pwede mo unahin yung pwedeng B plus A plus C, or B plus C plus A, or C plus B plus A, and so on and so forth. Okay, so maraming possible combinations. And you'll see that you'll end up with the same, tawag dito, with the same answer. Okay, pare-parehong direction and pare-parehong, tawag dito, pare-parehong magnitude. Okay, any questions so far? Ano, familiar pa ba sa inyo to? Familiar ba sa inyo ito? Okay, good. If meron confusion or meron akong na-miss, just let me know, okay? Okay. Sige. Let's do this exercise. Siguro ilipat ko to, no? Copy ko muna. Yeah. Paste, paste, paste. Copy. Okay. Delete ko nito. Okay, so let's consider this example. So adding two vectors at right angles. A cross-country skier skis 1 kilometer north and then 2 kilometers east on a horizontal snowfield. How far and what direction is she from the starting point? Okay, so yung vectors ay dinrawing na dito sa vector, tinatawag na vector diagram. Okay, so a vector diagram is just yung vectors drawn to scale. Okay, so ito, kanina pa natin ginagawa actually yung vector diagram. Yan, mga vector diagrams lahat yan. Okay, so ito na yung vector diagram for the given problem. So first, nag-travel siya 1 kilometer north and then 2 kilometer east. Okay, dito, ang naging reference frame niya ay itong north, east, west, south, okay, na tawag dito na frame. Okay? So pag sinabing 1 kilometer north, then with respect to this frame, reference frame, paakyat siya. And then 1 kilometer east, with respect to the 2 kilometers east with respect to this reference frame, pakanan siya. Okay, and then yung resulting na vector, okay, ay nakuha niya by connecting by making an arrow from the tail of 1 kilometer to the head of the 2 kilometer vector. Okay, so gaano kalayo yung distance na tinavel niya and in what direction? Okay, so here we recognize na merong triangle. Okay, right triangle in particular. And we have to recognize yung right triangle na yan kasi it will make things easier for us. Right triangle, ito yung 90-degree angle. Okay, and pag meron tayong right triangle, isa sa mga unang pumapasok sa isip natin ay yung SOHCAHTOA. Di ba? Okay, sine is equal to opposite over hypotenuse and so on and so forth. So when we do that, when we recognize that it's a right triangle, it's immediately easy to see kung ano yung magnitude. Okay, kasi from this right triangle, yung resultant na vector is just the hypotenuse of the right triangle. Okay, so in other words, to get the displacement, okay, we simply need to write. Okay, so tawagin natin itong vector. Tawagin natin itong vector A. Ito, tawagin natin itong vector B, and then yung resultant is vector C. So C is equal to A plus B. Okay, and yung tawag dito, yung displacement niya, or kahit na ganyan lang natin siya isulat, is given by the Pythagorean theorem. Okay, because we recognize that this is a right triangle. So C is equal to 1 kilometer squared plus 2 kilometer squared and then square root. So C is equal to 2.24 kilometers. Okay. Now, that gives us the displacement. What about yung direction? Okay, so for the direction, we need to define a parameter, an angle. Okay. Okay, saan natin ilalagay yung angle na yan? Could be anywhere. Dito sa triangle na ito, nag-define siya ng angle phi, okay, between the short side of the triangle and the hypotenuse. Of course, itong short side na to is adjacent to the angle. So, ito yung adjacent na side. Okay. So, knowing that, okay, we can immediately find the angle phi. So 1 kilometer is adjacent and yung resultant displacement is the hypotenuse. So from SOHCAHTOA, cosine of the angle phi is equal to adjacent, which is 1 kilometer, over the hypotenuse, which is 2.24 kilometers, which means that phi is equal to cosine inverse ng 1 kilometer over 2.24 kilometers, or this is equal to 63.4 degrees. Okay? Now, ito na yung sinasabi ko. Check if your answers make sense. Okay. 63.4 degrees. Does this angle look like 63.4 degrees? Well, it does because this is 90. If I draw somewhere here, alam natin na ito ay 45 degrees. Kung ito ay 1 kilometer, ito ay 1 kilometer. Itong angle na ito is 45 degrees. And this angle is greater than 45 degrees. So it makes sense na yung angle phi na yan is greater than 45 degrees, so 63.4 degrees makes sense. Okay. Now, pag tinanong kayo, anong direction? Sabihin nyo, 63.4 degrees. Pero with respect to what? Di ba? Kailangan yung i-describe properly. Kasi kung 63.4 degrees lang, anong reference ang ginagamit mo? Okay? Now, ang reference frame na ginagamit natin dito ay ito. In north, east, west, south. So we have to express it in terms of this reference frame. Okay, so how do we do that? Okay, so of course, north points upward and east points to the right. Okay, so we need to be able to convert itong angle na to such that it's with respect to this coordinate system, to this reference frame. So ang gawin natin is we define this new angle. Oh, nangyari. Okay, we define this, okay. So ito kasi yung east, di ba? Yan yung north. What if we define this angle? Sabihin natin na theta. Okay, yung angle na theta na yan, based sa geometry, okay, is 90 minus 63.4 degrees or 26.6 degrees. Okay. Bakit yung angle na yan pinili natin? Kasi now I can say na this is 26.6 degrees north, okay, north of the east direction. Okay, so ito yung east direction and yung north of the east direction is 26.6 degrees. Okay? So, ngayon, clear na sa atin, in our minds, clear na sa atin kung anong direction because we used yung reference frame. Okay? So, I mean, ganun din naman, di ba, sa tunay na buhay. Okay? Pag meron nagtanong sa inyo, gaano kalayo yung SM dito or gaano kalayo yung Victory Liner, di ba? At saan siya banda? Diba? Sasabihin mo, nandiyan lang siya mga 150 meters. Tuturo mo yung direction. Okay? You just use your hand, point in that direction. Sabihin mo na 150 meters lang siya. Of course, minsan mas madaling sabihin, malapit lang. Okay? And then tuturo mo na lang yung direction. Okay? Yan. So, dyan lang sa kanto, pagtingin nyo dyan sa kanto, kita nyo na kagad yung victory liner sa direction na ito. Okay? So, ano ang naging reference frame mo dun? Ang naging reference frame mo dun ay yung kamay mo. Okay? Kasi you used your hand, okay, as a frame of reference. Okay? Para maintindihan ng taong nagtatanong sa'yo na yun yung direction na dapat niyang puntahan. Okay? So, again, emphasize ko na importante dito yung reference frame. Now, there are other reference frames na ginagamit like yung Cartesian coordinate system. Okay? Yun yung pinaka-common na ginagamit. Marami pang ibang reference frame, polar coordinates, spherical polar coordinates. Okay, so, but yung Cartesian coordinate system yung pinaka-common na ginagamit. Okay, and we'll get to that in a bit. Okay. So, clear ba tong ano na to? Clear ba tong solution dito sa exercise na to? Any questions? Okay. So, sige, kung walang tanong, then let's discuss now the other way, okay, to describe yung describe yung tawag dito yung vectors, okay? And that other way, it requires us to use a different type of reference frame. Okay, anong reference frame ang gagamitin natin yan? Cartesian coordinate system. Okay, Cartesian coordinate system, very simply, okay, ginagamit nyo na ito sa mathematics. So you have x and y axis. So usually, we say na yung arrow towards the right is the positive x-axis, yung arrow towards the left is negative x-axis, yung pataas ay yung positive y-axis, and then yung pababa ay yung negative y-axis. Okay? Let me just change this coordinate system to color black. Okay. Okay. Now, let's draw a vector. Sabihin natin itong vector na ito. Okay, let's call this vector A. Okay, now, how do we use, tawag dito yung coordinate system to describe itong vector na ito? First, we refer it to one of the axes. Let's begin with the positive x-axis. So, ilang units siya with respect to the positive x-axis? So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, 6 units siya with respect to the positive x-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. With respect to the positive y-axis, okay, 3 units siya. 1, 2, 3 units. Okay? Now, tawag dito, meron siyang length with respect to the positive x-axis. Teka, gusto kong gumamit ng ibang kulay. Meron siyang length with respect to the positive x-axis. At yung length na yan ay tinatawag na ax or x component of vector A. In the book, okay, meron ding ibang tawag dyan. Okay? Then, dito naman sa y-axis, okay, yung length na ito, okay, ay tinatawag natin na ay or y component of vector A. Okay, so you have the x component of vector A and the y component of vector A. Okay, so ax tsaka ay. So ganun din pag pag tinanggal ko yung arrow, gumamit ako ng absolute values. So we're just talking about magnitudes, okay, nung mga vectors, mga vectors na yan. Okay, now we know yung magnitudes. Okay, 6 units along the x, 3 units along the y. Okay, what about yung direction? Typically, we use yung direction with respect, angle with respect to the positive x-axis. So itong theta, okay, describes direction, the direction of vector A with respect to the positive x-axis. Okay. Okay. And immediately dito, makikita nyo na meron tayong right triangle. Okay, and when we see a right triangle, that's when we can use itong SOHCAHTOA na na napag-aralan ninyo from high school. Okay, remember na ang SOHCAHTOA is always with respect to or will depend upon where you place the angle. Okay, so let's say for example, in this particular drawing, okay, yung AX is ay derive natin from, since ito yung angle na theta, okay, yan yung angle na theta, yung side na to, okay, yung x component is adjacent to the angle, and then it's also adjacent to the hypotenuse. So we use cosine theta is equal to ax over a. For ay, okay, ito yung opposite side ng triangle. Opposite siya dun sa angle na theta. So we use sine theta is equal to ay, which is opposite over the hypotenuse, which is a. Of course, we can also write tangent theta, which is opposite ay over the adjacent side, ax. And we should arrive at the same answer regardless kung ano yung ginamit natin sa tatlong equations. Okay. Now, like I said, importante dito kung nasan yung angle na theta with respect to the right triangle. Okay. How important is that? So let's consider this example. Okay, so ilipat ko lang din ulit ito. So copy, and paste. Okay, cover ko din yan. And then, here, copy. Sorry, dali ah. Okay. So yan. Okay. So dito, we have two examples. Okay. Letter A, ano daw yung x components, x and y components ng vector D. And sa letter B, ano yung x and y components ng vector E. Okay. For vector A, for letter A, yung angle na binigay ay yung angle na alpha. Okay? And for vector B, yung angle na binigay ay yung angle na beta. Okay? Sa vector D, yung angle na alpha is with respect, ay adjacent sa x component, x-axis. Pero sa vector B, adjacent siya sa y component. Okay? Mag-iiba ngayon yung tawag dito, yung treatment natin dito. Kasi we have to look at a triangle kung saan naka-enclose yung angle. So dun muna tayo sa vector A. Ano yung x and y components nitong mga to? So dito, first we need to identify yung triangle. Saan ang triangle dito? Ito yung triangle na i-consider natin. Okay? And from the triangle, okay, bakit yung triangle na yan? Kasi it encloses yung alpha, angle na alpha. So from the triangle, we can easily see na cosine alpha is equal to adjacent. Ang adjacent side dito is yung x component ng D, and then over the hypotenuse, which is yung magnitude ng D. Ang y component dito, ang sine alpha dito is yung opposite, which is yung y component, okay, dy, and then divided by yung D, ang tawag dito, D component. Okay, but since yung D dito, yung y component ng D is along the negative y-axis, we need to put a negative sign dito. Okay. Of course, you can write tangent alpha is equal to negative dy over dx as well. Okay. Now, pagdating sa vector E, identify natin kung ano yung triangle. Again, yung angle should be enclosed in that triangle. Okay. So, in this case, yung opposite, yung adjacent ay yung y-axis. Diba? Ito yung adjacent side. Right? So, in this case, ang cosine beta ay EY and then divided by the hypotenuse, which is yung magnitude which is E, magnitude ng hypotenuse. And then, ang opposite is ito, EX, divided by yung hypotenuse. Of course, we can write tangent beta is equal to EX over EY. And if you compare, diba, if you compare these two, okay, hindi siya straightforward na application ng SOHCAHTOA. I mean, di ba? Siyempre, iniisip natin, o pag cosine, ang iba kasi iniisip pag cosine, x component agad. Pero hindi. Pag cosine, it's not necessarily the x component. It should depend on the right triangle na makikita nyo dun sa system. And this is where, this is another, tawag dito, another mistake, common mistake ng mga estudyante. Pag makita sila ng triangle, automatic nilang iisipin na tawag dito, na ang x component ay sa cosine, ang y component ay sa sine, okay? Without looking at where the triangle is. Okay, so you have to be careful, okay, sa ganyang bagay. Okay? So now just to complete yung problem. So the magnitude of vector D is 3 and the angle alpha is 45 degrees. Ano yung x and y components of vector D? So from here, makukuha natin yung x component ng vector D and from here yung y component ng vector D. So dx is equal to D times cosine alpha or 3 meters times cosine ng 45 degrees. Okay, so dx is equal to plus 2.1 meters. And then yung dy naman is negative d times sine alpha, okay, or 3 meters times sine ng 45 degrees. And then, or dy is equal to negative 2.1 meters. Okay, for EX, it's here, diba? Ito, it's E sine beta, and yung magnitude ng E is 4.5, and then yung angle is 37 degrees. So 4.5 meters times sine ng 37 degrees, which is equal to 2.71 meters. And then yung EY ay equal sa E cosine ng beta. Dito natin kinuha yan. Okay, 4.5 meters times cosine ng 37.0 degrees, which is equal to 3.59 meters. Okay. Yes. So may question dito kung ilang significant figures yung dx. Okay. Okay. Actually, two significant figures lang siya. Bakit? Kasi if you notice here, yung D ay merong three significant figures. One, two, three. Pero yung angle ay two significant figures. So you use the tawag dito, yung final answer nyo will depend on the least number of significant figures dun sa given. So kaya dito, two significant figures lang. For E, tatlo yung significant figures sa E, vector E, and sa angle is tatlo rin yung significant figures. So ang sagot natin for E ay tatlong significant figures din. Okay? Any more questions? Okay. We'll end with that exercise and continue sa next lesson, sa next meeting. Okay, but I'm also going to leave you with this quiz. Okay? So, isa-send ko lahat sa inyo to sa notes. Okay, and ang deadline nito is on Thursday at 3:30 p.m. bago ng klase. And isasubmit ito sa isang assigned na folder. Okay, so in a bit, siguro within 2 hours, isesend ko sa inyo yung individual na folders na assigned sa inyo. Do not share those folders with anyone. Doon nyo isasubmit yung tawag dito, yung quiz na ito. Okay? Yung solution nyo sa quiz na ito. Just create a subfolder doon named Q1 tapos i-upload niyo yung ano. Pwede kayong gumamit ng tawag dito ng iPad or digital device, 'di ba? Para i-solve yung problem, pwede niyo i-type yung solution niyo as long as it's clear. Okay, or tawag dito, pwede niyo isulat sa papel yung solution niyo and then picturean niyo. Okay, tapos i-send nyo yung picture. I-upload nyo yung picture dito sa subfolder. Hindi ko na kailangan yung papel. Okay, you can throw it away. Just ensure na ang solution niyo ay clear at saka complete. Okay? Okay, magbibigay ako ng mas clear na instructions sa email na isi-send ko mamaya-maya konti. Okay, any questions? So again sa Thursday tawag dito. I'm just going to send you a video. Okay, now you might think na, okay, saka ko na lang panoorin yung video na yan kasi hindi naman makikita ni sir. Diba? But here's the thing, okay, ito yung gusto kong ilagay nyo sa utak ninyo. Remember that every Tuesday and Thursday is ang allotted time ninyo for Physics 101 is 4 to 6 p.m. Okay, dali.